And we have breaking news, a CHP pursuit.
And Desmond Shaw is live overhead in SkyCal to tell us more about this. Hey, Des. Oh, on
hey
the
there,
sidewalk.
Pat and Rudy. We've covered a lot of ground so far. We are in Orange County, but this came out of Riverside. It started with Riverside PD trying to pull over this Mercedes. They decided not to pull over. Apparently it was just some sort of vehicle code violations is what we had heard. CHP took over, and then once this got pretty deep into Orange County, right by Disneyland, CHP actually backed off, and Orange PD decided to engage on their own. Got some really dangerous driving here. Westbound now on Valley View Street, definitely one of the busier streets. We're getting into hour as well. This Mercedes SUV that's just kind of been muscling their way through traffic. One person in the car, not sure if it's a man or a woman. So Orange PD's trying to catch up with this. Orange County Sheriff's Deputy's helicopter is the one that's overhead. That's Duke there that has been tracking this one from the air. So they're talking with Orange Police right now. And again, you know, it sounded like a pretty minor want. There's some front end damage as well. We thought we had heard that the suspect may have crashed at one point as they make a northbound turn now onto Walker Street. It may have been a fairly minor collision. We're trying to get a better shot now. We were up around Disneyland, had to be really high in the air, but now that we're away, we're able to kind of descend and try to kind of close in on this. But pretty high speeds, a lot of surface street driving, covered a lot of ground. This Mercedes SUV, all over vehicle code violations. Multiple agencies have been in pursuit. Pat, Rudabay, and Mike.
All right, so and we haven't seen any kind of, you know, effort. I call it an effort, like a spike strip or something like that to try to slow this driver down.
No, nothing like that yet. It's just been, I think, really hard to keep tabs on the driver. You know, they haven't really been circling any kind of neighborhood or anything where they've been able to get spike strips in place, and they've just been driving pretty quickly and erratically. So that's been tough. They've been having trouble closing ranks as well. We're definitely going too fast for a pit maneuver. So, you know, at this point, it's just kind of a wait and see, and just I got to suppose see what the suspect decides to do here. Maybe they make, you know, a wrong turn into a cul-de-sac or something like that. But they've been keeping to pretty major streets for the most part, blowing through some red lights, not afraid to cut people off, get really, really close to trading paint with some other cars, and you can see all the rush hour traffic out here in Orange County as well. And it's just, look at this maneuver.
Oh my goodness! And this how
boy.
Fast this.
Wow.
Okay, that's getting very, very. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
And he's been driving fast.
Yeah, and you know it was a blind getting. You know, you had that other truck that was trying to turn as well, so he's going through an intersection with another truck kind of blocking one direction there. So super dangerous. And maybe we're coming into a work zone now. Yep. Looks like lanes restricted here for some sort of road work project, and we'll see if they just go by the shoulder. That's what he's been doing to just get around, just kind of get any distance that they can, just kind of widen out and see if units are even still behind this guy. Not at the moment that I can see. I think they're still trying to catch up. So, yeah, pretty tough. Like I said, even keeping ranks with this person here is right through the work zone here, 50 miles an hour. We've seen as high as 65 miles an hour on some of these streets. You know, this big SUV as well. You got a big, heavy, top-heavy vehicle there. But it is a Mercedes SUV, so it definitely has quite a bit of straight-line power, and the suspect's definitely using it right now.
Yeah, going at high rates of speed. Do we know anything about the driver?
Don't know if it's a man or a woman, just that, you know, it was a really minor want we had heard for various vehicle code violations. And started with Riverside, and yeah, I mean, we've covered, like I said, a ton of ground now at this point. I mean, we're actually making our way out of Orange County now, getting into the Cerritos, Long Beach area here.
He certainly was intimidating too. Did you notice, like, even now how he gets up? Okay, well, my goodness, that's intimidating. If I'm a driver ahead of this guy, and he's trying to like muscle his way through on the wrong side of the street.
Wow. Yeah, just getting really lucky here with all of these lights and oncoming traffic, and just having these opportunities to continue to put more and more distance between himself and the ground units, blasting through that stop sign right now. And yeah, keeping to pretty major streets. Like I said, they were right by Disneyland for a long time. I almost thought maybe they were going to drive into that huge parking structure or something like that. But now we're making our way away from Disneyland, kind of a medium-sized street right here. And again, no units directly behind the suspect. We haven't seen anyone behind him since we got eyes on them. Just Orange County Sheriff's helicopter overhead that's been monitoring this.
Do you think that's probably they don't want to agitate this person any more than he already is, the way he's driving? Mike?
Well, you know, and The other thing, too, is there is confusion amongst the law enforcement agencies about what the want is right now. And I've been trying to sort that out over here. Riverside PD, the watch commander whose agency started this chase, is insistent with us that this was a want for vehicle code violations. That could be anything. That could be not using a blinker. That could be improper lane changes, simple vehicle code violations, something wrong with the car, what have you. When we talk to CHP, CHP says it's wanted for burglary. So they're giving conflicting stories about what this car is actually wanted for, and they may be sorting that out now, which is why we're not seeing the law enforcement as aggressive with it as they were before, because if they're getting clarification that this actually is just vehicle code violations and not burglaries, that may make them chase it in a different manner. That changes the want completely. But what we know is, at least in Orange County law enforcement thought the vehicle was wanted for burglaries, but the Riverside Police Department watch commander has insisted with us that is not the case, that they are only wanted for vehicle code violations. So what I'm wondering if what's happening is they're sorting that out on the ground, and now they don't want to chase it as hard because it wasn't, wanted for what they thought it was wanted for.
Well, reckless driving now.
Very reckless, and felony evading. I mean, you've got the felony here for running from law enforcement, but if the reason we're not seeing them chase it as aggressively as they had been, I'm wondering if that's because they're sorting out what the want is here. Because again, Orange County CHP just told me on the phone less than 3 minutes ago that it was wanted for burglary. Riverside Police insisting to us about 5 minutes ago that that's not the case.
Just such aggressive driving, really tailgating so many drivers, running red lights left and right, swerving around traffic, driving on the wrong side of the road and on the sidewalk at times.
Well, and now we're back in LA County. So those Orange County agencies that were with it, Orange PD, is probably not going to want to chase it into LA County.
But Orange is usually more aggressive?
They are, for sure. But they never, when Desmond was catching up when we were near the Disneyland area, they were never all the way behind him. They were trying really hard, but they kept getting stuck in traffic, red lights. This guy was driving like he's driving. And so I don't know, maybe because they didn't fully get up with him, they kind of let it go once it got into LA County. CHP is probably not going to get back involved unless he gets on the freeway, if at all, especially given the fact that, Riverside PD is insisting this is vehicle code violations and not a burglary suspect.
Well, they do have the license plate, and I haven't heard you say that this was a stolen vehicle, so.
Correct, yeah, we've not heard stolen at all, and there are 2 helicopters overhead. Orange County Sheriff Duke is still over it, even though we're in Lakewood, and then CHP has their fixed wing up at 4,000 feet with it.
And it's such a big, sturdy vehicle, too. It just makes you so nervous to see it driving so recklessly like this, especially at this time when so many people are out on the roads.
Well, that Mercedes could turn on a dime. That's another reason why it's so doggone popular.
Well, and you talk about, higher end cars, you worry about run flat tires that are immune to spike strips and, things like that. So, not that we don't believe is actively trying to spike it, but look, we're going 75 miles an hour on Bellflower, which is obviously a very busy and well occupied street, especially at 5 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, so how could you?
Right. Well, and you worry about him, blowing through these intersections like this. There's a bicyclist right there that he's stopping barely for.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Desmond?
Yep. Wow. Yeah, super close. When I was zoomed way in as well, getting a better look at the car, there was another really close call with someone that was pulling out, and the suspect almost got into like a glancing blow as we're underneath a ton of trees right now. Here we go. So Bellflower Boulevard northbound. So now we're kind of headed towards the 5 freeway, but kind of in this big wide area where it's just surface streets and not. We'll be coming up to the 91 here shortly, I believe, as well. But yeah, lots of desperation by the suspect here. This Mercedes. Now we're hearing they are talking. The airships up here are talking about this being a burglary suspect, and we definitely do see some of the craziest driving by pretty desperate burglary suspects. So, kind of putting the pieces together here. That's what we're hearing from the 2 law enforcement helicopters talking overhead, and this is a GLE, I believe it is. So. Not sure if it's a turbocharged version or what, but even the base model of these have at least 300 horsepower or more, and we can see just how quickly they can accelerate. Have really big, powerful brakes as well, and the suspect is definitely driving this like a sports car. It is a top-heavy SUV, but a fairly capable one, and no one has been able to catch up to this suspect. But you have to wonder now, if they're talking about burglary suspects, that they're going to get more serious about engaging. It was interesting because we heard Orange PD just engaged on their own, and when CHP was still behind it, they sounded kind of surprised by that, like they weren't expecting that. And then CHP was like, all right, well, it's yours, we'll back off. But, now we're getting, deeper into LA County, into the Downey Norwalk area. So, again, not seeing any agency in particular behind this, and have to wonder if, the helicopter and the airship overhead are trying to engage other agencies to see if they have any interest in getting, in the pursuit with this suspect.
So, like you said earlier too, Des, it's kind of hard because this person is not following a pattern so far of traversing in an area that police can anticipate. Yeah, he's going to make another turn here, so we can possibly stage something. That makes it oh, okay, just ran over a big bump. That makes it difficult.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. They haven't been making circles really anywhere. Just lots of long straightaways for the most part, making occasional turns and sticking with these bigger streets for a mile or so at a time. Artesia Boulevard, a very, very crowded street this time of the day. A lot of people like to take it to avoid the 91. They have tons of signals, lots of businesses out here. Definitely one of the busier streets in LA County, and just kind of continuing to blast westbound here on Artesia. So towards kind of on the verge of like the Long Beach area. And oh, look at that, got a pretty capable vehicle right in front of him. But yeah, not afraid to get up and get really just super rude, aggravating with other drivers, wrong side of the road, again up to 50 miles an hour, and just taking every opportunity they can. But while no one is behind the suspect either. So what is this person's plan? I mean, the reality is at the moment, if they're willing to ditch the vehicle, and another really just kind of threading the needle there. But if they're willing to ditch the vehicle, they definitely really just kind of threading the needle there. But if they're willing to ditch the vehicle, they definitely have an advantage as far as no one is around them. Now circling around, just no idea what the suspect wants to do. Okay. Going into a business now,
like a
here
hotel.
off of Artesia and Lakewood into a motel. Maybe this is going to be the answer to my question here, what their plan is. And let's see, indeed, this is the first time we've been at a stop, maybe thinking about it if they want to ditch the vehicle, and it looks like they do.
Door open.
And we've got the suspect there with a backpack. Certainly wonder what's in that backpack. And headed into, was his Home Suites? Wood Spring Suites here, 8800 block of Artesia Boulevard, and there are no units here. It looks like he went directly into a unit, though.
Didn't even try to blend in with the vehicle or anything. Just left
they just
it right
left
there.
the car there. So in this instance, what would hopefully they're watching, or they're watching you, Des, and they know maybe to call the front desk or something. I mean,
right. Well, and I'm hoping so. Duke and CHP are still overhead, so hopefully they're notifying Lakewood sheriffs and they'll come in. I just reiterated with the watch commander. I just had another conversation with the watch commander in Riverside, who is baffled to hear that anybody is calling this a burglary suspect. Because he says what happened, his officer tried to pull him over for speeding. He didn't want to stop. They ran the plate. The plate did not come back connected to any burglary that they're aware of. So they really have no idea why, when it got to Orange County, it got translated into a burglary suspect. But the watch commander, this is like the fourth time we've talked to him, and he is insistent that they tried to stop the guy for speeding. He took off. That's it. The plate did not have any connection to a burglary. The car itself, when they started chasing it, had no connection to a burglary that they're aware of. So I guess it's possible that Orange County had some information on the suspect that made it a burglary. But as far as what they were originally chasing for, Riverside PD, again, telling us he was speeding. They tried to pull him over. He took off. That's it.
And as far as we can tell, Desmond, do you see any units coming over to this motel? Nope.
I have not yet. I'm just going to widen way out and show. I mean, you can still see. And it wasn't, I couldn't tell if the suspect went into a unit or if that was a stairwell. It might have been a stairwell that they went into that was right underneath that balcony right there right by that trash can in the center of the screen is where I saw him just go in with that backpack. And yeah, it really kind of crazy that he didn't even make an attempt to park the vehicle at all. And so, at least the immediate danger to the public is over with all that crazy driving at rush hour. But maybe they take the vehicle, maybe they find something in there or some fingerprints or something that will help them solve this case. But short of going from unit to unit, and I mean even then, this is just taking so long. The suspect could slip out and possibly somewhere else. And a lot of people out here wondering what all the commotion is with the helicopters overhead. got somebody here who's filming it. Just what the heck is going on? But just slipped right into that building there. No units behind him, and you know, that might be it for now.
He's had so much lead time to figure out what to do to get away from. Still no law enforcement presence on the ground.
Well, as we said, they do have the plates.
Yeah, and the car's not stolen. I mean, they know who the guy is. They got eyes on him, Des?
Well, we just heard now that he may have actually gone through the building and is walking on Lakewood Boulevard right here.
Oh, yeah, I got the airship north of the 91.
Okay, so see if he's on the east or west side of the street here, but well, here's
somebody's running.
North of
that doesn't look like him, though.
No, that's not him.
No, northbound on the west side of the street. Okay, yeah. I'll have to hand it back to you guys while I try to find the suspect here, but yeah, I guess maybe he could have just walked through that building then to, you know, under the cover of the building, and then came through. Not seeing anybody here on the street here yet.
Yeah, there's a shopping center at like Park just off of Lakewood, or like a strip mall or something right there.
East of the.
He had on shorts. Looks like he had dreadlocks.
Yeah.
If I'm correct.
And camo backpack.
It's oh, there he is, right there, straight in.
Well, we're hearing them. They might have someone at gunpoint here. If I can find him now, we're hearing the helicopter. Boy, this guy covered a lot of ground on foot, though. That's for sure.
The airship's back to your left.
A lot of ground in the vehicle and on foot if you made it that far.
Yeah, I mean, through these neighborhoods under the 91, I mean, he must have just bolted right through the hotel to get out and come over here into this neighborhood.
In the back of the motel?
Yeah, I think, I ran out the backside of it.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, Mike, I guess we're going to let, Des, we're going to let you continue your search, and we will come back to this when we have more information. That car's still there. That's pretty wild. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to other